Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So we're gonna have some fun today. We are going to be basically Shilbo Baggins today and talk about the origins of the elusive Harry Potter Obamasonic 10 Inu backpack, which is, quite frankly, one of the most mysterious memes and backpacks and collectors items in the entire world. You really think about it, because this thing, when because we've gone down the rabbit hole, and a lot of the ticker Bitcoin holders and Sprotos and people that are fans of the meme have gone down their own rabbit holes as well, and actually came to their conclusions and linked a lot of cool connections between the origins of the actual Bitcoin, the boomer Bitcoin, BTC, and the connections with the backpack, with the tulips, with the alignment of the art that is on this backpack, and how it is so mysterious that it is in itself one of the coolest, I think, Lindy effects and survivors of in the meme culture out of any meme that we have right now. And it's just fantastic. So we're going to get into it. This episode of the live stream is brought to you by my interest in my favorite meme coin, Harry Potter Obamasonic 10 Inu. So we actually found a really cool video that was posted 8 months ago on YouTube by an account, Shea Valley. And this particular video right now is getting close to over 1 million views. So this was posted April 15th, 2025, and it talks about the most mysterious bootlegs ever made. And it features the first item being the backpack. All right, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell to be notified, and let's go on a little journey today. All right, let's get started.
Seen at least once before, the Harry Potter Obamasonic 10 bootleg backpack. This is a majorly iconic image. It honestly might be one of the most popular bootleg images to exist. I remember as a kid being so fascinated with bootleg products for some reason. I would always watch different videos on YouTube of people looking at rip-off knockoff materials and laughing at them. This Harry Potter Obamasonic 10 backpack would come up so much, and it never really has fallen into obscurity. To this day, it is still brought up in discussion. So many different memes, mock-ups, videos, merch, and art has been made around this silly backpack. Some people have even remade the bag, and it actually looks really cool. It gets so much love online. Harry Potter Obamasonic is also a cryptocurrency which has supposedly done 1 billion USD in volume. This cheap $10 bag has resulted in billions of dollars. That is just so funny and insane to me. It's crazy. The thing is though, no one knows where this image came from. Everything about it is a complete mystery. Who posted this image? What website did it originally come from? Who actually made this strange bootleg bag? Where is the place this bootleg got sold? And why is it designed this way? There are too many questions about this bootleg which are left unanswered. A question I want to know is, are there any other pictures of this bootleg out there?
And that's the same question that I eventually was asking was, man, there's gotta be other pictures of this particular backpack, but this is it. This is it. So it's so fascinating.
As we know, this is the only photo ever taken of the bag. What year is this image from? That is another question about this image that is unknown. TinEye is a reverse image search website many people use. It's
where it gets
unfortunately
crazy.
pretty unreliable and doesn't work too well. However, the oldest and earliest date this site brings up is February 2nd, 2010. What's weird is that it wasn't uploaded onto just one website this day. It was uploaded to a variety of different websites. No dates earlier, all being February 2nd, 2010. So if anything, doing a reverse image search just raises more questions. What led to this image being posted all around on this day? Knowing how faulty TinEye can be, there is definitely a good chance this image is much older than February 2nd, 2010, and none of these results are the first origin of this image. This image likely originates from 2010 or 2009. I definitely believe no earlier than 2009, as 2009 is when Obama became president.
The same exact time that the Bitcoin white paper was published. We have some Sproto time travelers, I don't know.
So that would make sense. I don't know, I would think it would be kind of weird if the bootleggers put Obama's name on this backpack when he wasn't even president yet. I would really love to know more about this image. I'd like to think that if the original page for where this image got posted was found, some context would be given by the user who took this photo, such as the location, if they bought it, if the bag had any info on it, who made it. I remember as a kid, whenever I saw this image, I would wonder what the bag next to it said and had on it. Who knows, maybe the person who took this photo posted other photos of other bags they saw. Maybe there's other angles and
so that other backpack that was next to the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu backpack, there is a rabbit trail on that one as well, and apparently it has Mario on it. So there's like an X, there's Mario, there's like all of this like crazy kind of connections of this particular other backpack as well. But really, obviously, like where it takes the cake is just, it's the spectacle of the backpack. So yeah, let's continue.
Separate photos of the Harry Potter Obama Sonic bag that just weren't archived. Who knows? I wonder if anyone bought this bag and they have it just hiding away in storage, left forgotten about. This bag genuinely would be an insane collector's item.
Man. But I love that. So that was like, so this was just the first 4 minutes of this video and this person. So shout out to Shea Valley. Go subscribe to in here. We'll link the video, so we'll make sure we'll give credit. And you know, this video got 207,000 views so far. It was 8 months ago. It's got 10,000 likes, and I think it's a really great breakdown of just the lore of the backpack and the fact that there is a community and it's still pushing. And we're gonna get into why that could be potentially why, you know, Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu can have the type of effect that Dogecoin did and Shiba Inu. So specifically, I'd like to compare it to Dogecoin because then, you know, it has a 90 billion or $100 billion market cap potential going into what we would consider a Lindy effect type of thing, that the thing that survives the longest will eventually be the most ironic outcome, being that the Bitcoin of ticker Bitcoin, the ticker being Bitcoin, while Bitcoin is such this you know, global phenomenon where it's going to potentially, you know, the hope is that it sucks the liquidity out of all this fiat cash that's going to zero, you know? So if that's the case and Bitcoin goes to $1 million, ETH surely could go to $40,000. And then what's going to happen with all these legacy brands, meme coins, IPs, communities, guilds, people that are so loud are going to end up being the people that are having the last laugh. I don't know. It's going to be pretty crazy. So we're going to go into that. First, let's give a shout out to Graham, Halloween 2008. He said he's watching my fellow spring 2023 ETH meme coin devs dump their bags and shill other tickers while the boys and me have never sold a single Bitcoin. And I believe him. And because I've met these people in person, I met them in real life. I get what they're trying to do, and they're not just trying to be a flash in the pan type of thing. And this is probably why I feel like I gravitated towards it over time, because obviously it's like, you come into crypto and you'll buy all kinds of stuff, but then you get to a point where you're going to find something, just like how Michael Saylor did. Michael Saylor wasn't always buying Bitcoin, didn't understand Bitcoin. Neither was, Fink, with BlackRock. They really didn't actually understand it yet. So, but once they started to understand it, then they kind of became obsessed. Michael Saylor became obsessed and very laser focused with his mission. And so I think a meme coin can do that to someone. And I think Doge and certain movements really spurred that. If enough people have that same vision and movement and rally towards an idea or whatever it is, whether it be taking over the stock market or overtaking the stock market, or the S&P 500 like SPX 6900, or ticker Bitcoin being like, quote, the people's Bitcoin on Ethereum, breaking well over $1 billion market cap and becoming one of the funniest, meme takeovers in history. End game type stuff. So, yeah, I do believe that, there is something to say about the devs and the people back when the meme coins were made great again in 2023, like Pepe, Wojak, ticker Bitcoin, SPX 6900, MOG, just go down the list, Wojak. All those memes that was like the start. And so what I think is going to happen here, I could be wrong. Look here, I could be totally wrong, but I think we could have a true ETH meme season rally with these legacy tokens. And it's just, you just have to take part in it to see if it can actually happen. That's it. I would much rather be participating in it than watching it happen on the sidelines and then being right, thinking, damn, I thought that was going to happen. But then you're not being able to actually take part in it. Man, that's how you end up looking like the depressed Wojak, or the crying Pepe. And we don't want to be like that. So we want to take part in history. We want to take part in this lore. All the connections are taking place here. And it's just up to you to be able to put the pieces together. So that's what I'm doing with my meme thesis. And sure enough, it connected into one of the funniest memes of all time. So that's how I think that it'll survive. And it will be one of those things that going into, quote, this super cycle that I really do think is going to happen, this might be one of the biggest meme coins of all time. And so perfectly set up for it. So Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu is the absurd meme coin challenging Dogecoin and Shiba Inu's throne, which I think it really is. The origins of a legend. So we went into that, that video did a perfect explanation of where the backpack origin came from, but with obvious mystery. So at first, we're going to go into how the cryptocurrency started was on Binance Smart Chain. So if you guys remember in 2023, Binance Smart Chain was very much like a hot, ecosystem. People were on Pancake Swap. People were farming tokens on Binance, like a lot. Okay. And it was very much like, it was hot. But then the Harry Potter, but someone tried to launch this and the dev just kind of forfeited it. It was just like a classic kind of like dev launch, but then, just dev disappeared and just, didn't really do anything with the project. So that particular one just didn't go anywhere. Now, fast forward a little bit, you go into the, after Pepe, and we had some characters and people that were like in the space that kind of were working kind of in the Binance Smart Chain days, took it and did a CTO in a way of bringing it to Ethereum and doing a proper, launch with no buy or sell tax, locked liquidity. And that was the difference between the Binance Smart Chain contract, that it was 5% buy sell tax. The supply was bigger, and with the ETH contract, the supply was less, it couldn't be minted anymore, and contract renounced, and there you go. So now fast forward to now, we have multiple chains that you can hold ticker Bitcoin on. You can hold it on Base, you can hold it on Solana, Berachain. Most of it is Wormhold, but then the main one that has the most volume and liquidity is going to be the one that is on Ethereum. And this ties in with my thesis of why and where you should potentially hold your meme coins if they are on Ethereum and have liquidity locked and strong fundamentals. You're going to be able to sell more coins at less slippage and actually be able to still hold moon bags for the future and be able to cash out when you have liquid coins. This is not subject just to ETH, because you can do this on Solana too, but it all depends on the liquidity, what the supply is, how the holders are, and how much buy and sell pressure is that is going to like nuke the damn chart. So now that we're in this particular market, this is where you can select the winners from the losers and the ones that are actually going to have more lasting power and have the Lindy effect. So the ones that already had the Lindy effect happen to them is SHIB, Dogecoin. They've survived a lot of pumps and different crashes, and you know, they've been managed to stay in the top 50 in the top 50 cryptocurrencies out of thousands of cryptocurrencies, you know, now to this day. So they've proven that they can survive. Dogecoin peaked at 90 billion in 2021 in the last run, and then SHIB peaked at around 40 billion. So and so the market capitalization comparison to the date right now. So it's the 16th. We have Dogecoin at 20 billion, SHIB's at like 5 billion, and Harry Potter Obama Sonic Teninu is just still so massively undervalued. I mean, compared to, like, think about it, something like Pippin. Pippin on Solana is being totally fabricated up to $500 million market cap by what? You think a bunch of people, like thousands of people, are just all of a sudden becoming Pippin holders? No, it's fucking fake. So real holders are what is going to be these ETH meme coins and these whales. Those are actual people that bought Doge, real holders. People that bought SHIB, real holders. SHIB still has 1 million holders. Okay. So it's just, you got to look at how things are going to accumulate in a very steady pace. And then when you see something like Pippin and all some of these Solana cabal controlled coins, this is why they run so fast. Okay? If they run that fast, they could dump just as fast. That's how you have to think about it. But the ticker Bitcoin chart is unmatched in levels of accumulation where it's just following the trend. It's not a flash in the pan. Okay? So could Harry Potter Obama Sonic continue to be the next Doge or SHIB? So the similarities is it's all rooted in absurd internet memes. You know, it's community driven with no real utility, pure hype, satire, and holder conviction. But you can go as far as saying the utility itself is just people buying the token. The utility is the community. People that are loud enough to be able to talk about it for years and years and years on end, regardless of price. That's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin, the people that believed in Bitcoin, Boomer Bitcoin, BTC, had to talk about it even when it was nuking. They had to go, look, I still believe in it. Hey, it crashed 50%, but I still believe in it. And look what eventually happened. It's gone up hundreds of thousands of percent, you know? Same with Ethereum. You think Ethereum, you could buy it, you know, below $200, and, you know, that still was like, woo. So explosive growth phases, Doge and SHIB, you know, hundreds of thousands of percent from the lows, and Harry Potter Obama Sonic Teninu has already up thousands of percent, you know, since the CTO, but it's obviously had its, you know, comparative volatility compared with ETH. The differences, though, is Doge and SHIB have celebrity boosts. They had Musk for Doge and Vitalik Burns SHIB. And then SHIB just kind of really went hard on advertising. Let's be honest, like SHIB like went hard on advertising and actually got people to start, people who were buying Dogecoin, normies were buying SHIB. Like I had a few friends that like weren't into really cryptocurrency very much at all. And they're like, yeah, I bought a little SHIB. So that just showed you that it got into the mind share and a broader adoption. So then with Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu is the niche absurdity, same kind of like virality that can happen. And then its name alone is the barrier filter for true believers, but the community emphasizes the Lindy effect, which is talked about. The survives the longest equals the strongest, and the esoteric lore being the coin who lived. Okay? And so the supply, this is the difference really, truly, what you have to understand is that the Doge supply is infinite, okay? SHIB has quadrillions, but it's also deflationary. So they do burn SHIB, but it's like kind of like it's unlimited. The difference is that Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu only has 1 billion tokens. So it's very much scarcer. So if you're acquiring tokens right now, you're essentially like, you are acquiring the lows and getting massive supply and becoming a whale on a way easier scale than say right now of Doge and SHIB. But it has the same type of effect and setup as what we had in the previous bull case. So the bull case now for the next big meme in meme coins, narrative wins. So the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu unapologetic ridiculousness stands out in a sea of copycats, which we know is all of what Pump Fun is right now, is a bunch of people copycatting memes. And then when something is, quote, kind of original, it gets botted and pumped way too fast, up to $500 million market cap, which as we know is fake as hell. So it's not, it doesn't give it the Lindy effect that it truly can have. So the CTO success story proves the organic community power. The viral moments hit, obviously, you know, it's a spectacle when I wear this stuff around. I mean, people get a laugh every time and it turns heads. They're like, what does that say? Harry Potter Obama? And they start laughing. Done. Already got him. So here we go. The reality check is that Doge and SHIB survived multiple cycles, building real ecosystems and payments use. Okay. Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu is still young and volatile. You know, so it's down 85% from all-time highs. That's the reality. But meme coins are very high risk and most are going to fade them. But in the crypto's wild world, the most absurd often wins in the long run. So ticker Bitcoin isn't just a coin, it's a cultural artifact. So we need to watch it. We need to pay attention. That's all I got to say. All right, so let's actually pull up the chart. Let's pull up the chart real quick. Hope you guys like that. Hope you guys like that breakdown. And I'll tell you, you know, the first time that I discovered this coin was back in 2023 when Pepe hit the scene. And funny enough, I saw Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu and it was hilarious. I was like, what is this? I didn't buy any. I wish I did right when I saw it. But I ended up then seeing SPX 6900 pop up. I was seeing all these things pop up on chain of just these all of these contracts and the ETH memes that I mentioned earlier. And I've just still been fascinated ever since. But I guess you could say I've definitely doubled down on what I like, but it hasn't changed. You know, it's really like a lot of these have been over 2.5 years old, 3 years old. You know, like I said, Wojak, ticker Bitcoin, SPX 6900, like that, they all came out around the same time. And then you could put Bobo in this list as well, because that came out around the same time, that contract. That, you know, it just makes sense if you're looking at this in terms of like an ETH whale fundamental list. All the whales are holding all these same coins. That's all you got to know. Like all these whales, they're holding all these same coins. They have all the same coins in their wallets, and they're just like kind of just waiting for that pop, that same pop that happened like we're talking about with Doge and SHIB. So, and look, let's be honest. Everything looks like garbage. Everything. It's not just your everything looks like crap. That's why I don't like to think that like, oh, I'm missing it on all these Solana runners. Oh, I'm missing it. Oh, no, I'm not missing shit. I'm not missing anything. I don't feel bad for not buying Pippin. Oh my God, who cares? That is what is like the folly of most people in the space is that I missed Pippin. Okay, there's like 4 other coins that are perfectly set up to give you the same gains, but without like, you can chill. You don't have to be trying to be a trader. Why are you going to try me and trade? I ain't got time for that. You got kids, you got a family, you're trying to trade. Good luck. No, I want to just like buy ticker Bitcoin and Wojak and Pepe and chill. And then once ETH BTC ratio really truly starts to kick off, I just made millions of dollars and I don't even have to like do anything. But, yeah, good luck. Are you going to believe that everyone that's buying Pippin right now is able to sell it with like no slippage? Get your ass out of here with that crap. So no one talks about slippage or low liquidity. They're just like, buy this coin. We talked about it the last live stream, is that like you could have a wallet full of a bunch of coins that just made you millions of dollars, but guess what? You probably can't sell it. That's so funny. Like back in the previous bull run, you heard that all the time. We're like, oh, look, my meme coin portfolio was up millions, but guess what? I can't sell it. It says unable to sell. The liquidity's not there. This transaction will not go through. That's what's going to happen to a bunch of people. And they're going to be like, I don't know what to do. That's not going to happen to people that are going to be on chains that have liquid chains. So just so you know. You'll hear that here. You're not going to hear it in the other grifter places. So the chart. These circles are every single time that the coin has died, lived, been reborn, revived. No coin, and someone explained this in one of the posts as I said, look, this there's no coin that has been able to do this many times. And it represents the euphoria in meme coins and ETH every time you see these circles up at the top. So then that's kind of how I judge the momentum of the quote sentiment in the market with meme coins was this chart, honestly. Like I started to look at the ticker Bitcoin chart as the sentiment for meme coins. But yeah, but I'm looking at the time right now. I actually have to go, guys. We were just going to do a short stream, but at least we got to the chart. We got everything that we wanted to cover. So yeah, just keep going down the rabbit hole. And I'm not telling you to buy ticker Bitcoin. That's my favorite meme coin. That's why I'm buying it. But look how I will bring you down the ETH rabbit hole. You can start looking at all those coins that I just mentioned, like Pepe, SPX, MOG, ticker Bitcoin. You can even look at NPC, Wojak. Start going down the Bobo Pepe rabbit hole. You can start going down the Pepe derivatives like Kekius and then look at Apu. You can start going down the damn rabbit hole, and then you can choose your path. Whatever relates to you, and then you can do the same thing with Sol, and that's how you're gonna win. That's how you're gonna beat the bears. You're gonna beat the traders. You're gonna beat the leverage traders. You're gonna beat everyone. Solidify your thesis, and you will win. All right. That's it, my friends. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. And just real quick, we found this really cool. They said 8 funniest meme coins to know. This is their top picks. They said the funniest ones in history right now are Dogecoin, Fartcoin, Mog, Popcat, Band, Eggdog, Joe Biden, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Teeny New. But we thought that was funny. You know, they had that on the list. But of course, we think it is the funniest meme of all time. But love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to the Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Teeny New community and all of the Sprotos out there. And hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace.